RWBY Volume 3, Chapter 2, New Challengers. I definitely love this episode because, of course, we get to see Team Juniper fight, we get to see Team Sun fight, and we get to see two brand new teams. The first one named, I can't remember because they don't say it in this episode. I think they said it in the trailer, but they didn't say it in this episode. But the all-female team that Team Sun fights is Team Indigo. And I love that concept. I thought it was pretty cool. We got the all-male team versus the all-female team. But I'll, of course, start with the first fight that we had, which was hilarious. Both fights were absolutely hilarious, especially Team Sun's fight, because I wasn't expecting that to happen. And the most ironic thing ever, like Neptune, obviously with his name being Neptune, him being afraid of the water was so funny to me, and especially just the way that he did it. It wasn't like, oh, I don't want to fall in the water or anything. As soon as he saw water, he just goes straight to the mountain, and then even that was really funny. It's like, I'm getting the higher ground, and it was like on their side, it's like they never expect it, and then the girl's like, well, he's not wrong. So there's just a lot of comedy in there, and he's like freaking out the whole time, and even his final attack when he wins was just hilarious. But even, in Juniper's fight against the other team, Jean is just freaking out on the team, like, for not knowing, like, their, doubles attack names, and that was definitely funny. Like, I loved all the action, and it was really cool. We get Nora's semblance officially, which I love that, we finally got that, because I always like the explanation for people's abilities. And for her power, I was always trying to figure it out, especially in Volume 2. The very first episode, I was trying to really figure out what is her power, because when she had, like, those pop cans, she was making them explode and stuff, and so I figured, like, it has to be something where it's like she can put energy into things, and I was kind of right, and it's basically her ability is kind of like Yang's ability, except Yang's ability is kinetic energy, and then Nora's ability would basically be like electromagnetic energy. So it's electricity based, so she can use that to make herself stronger or convert it into other things. And like when she did it with the pop cans, it put so much energy in them they exploded. And that was really awesome, and we got like a great sort of He-Man style type of move where the lightning comes down and strikes the hammer. So I love that scene. The team fight was definitely really funny, and Jean's trying to do like, well, this is our name, and then even Pyrrha wasn't paying attention at whenever they talked about it, and she's like, oh, sorry, I just want to make sure everything's clearly defined. And then he gives her the name for their team attack, and she's like, no, I like it, I get it, it's our last name, it's great. And then of course Nora's like, I sense hesitation in that. It was just really funny for them just having this argument. The animation style on Jean's face, like when the team yells at him, like, we're in the middle of a fight, and he turns around and he's super pissed off, like, and we're in the middle of a, team conversation. I love that scene. Like, I just like the animation and how angry he got. Like, I'm already mad because my team doesn't, like, listen to me as the leader. And then you guys are interrupting us while we're having a team conversation over here, even though we're totally in the middle of a giant tournament fight with, hundreds, possibly, thousands of eyes on us. Probably millions of eyes, I would assume, it's broadcast worldwide. And it was just really funny. Like, that was just a great opening scene for this episode. And then he's just like, Pyrrha or Nora just hit him with the hammer. And then she knocks out all 4 people in one go. And it's just like, well, there they go. They all get sent out, no big deal. And it was just fun to watch. It was a nice, fun, silly fight. And then pretty much not any time afterwards, it's just like, alright, let's move on to the very next fight. We finally get to see the team that I've personally been waiting to see forever, because it was like we got Sun, we got Neptune in the last volume. I thought we were going to get Saturn, and I can't remember the other person's name, unfortunately. But it kind of doesn't matter, because both of them still got knocked out real quick. Like, it was like super, super fast, and neither of them, like, the guy with green, he didn't even get any sort of, like, he barely even got grunts in this episode. He came down, he was the one I really wanted to see fight, too, because he has, like the giant sword. I like it. I really love the design for his character. I think he looks really cool, and he's got, like, the long jacket, and he has, like, the giant sword and stuff, and I was like, he looks really cool, and I wanted to see, because before I thought he had, like, a robot arm, but I'm pretty sure it's just guards now. But I was like, I'm really looking forward to this. I want to see these characters fight. And we get, like, a tiny bit of space. We got, our fight. Then we had, Crow at the bar. Crow was at the Crow bar, which was funny. And so it's like, that's our little respite. And then we get this next battle, and it's like, all right, we got Team Sun, Team Indigo. Let's see what Team Sun can do. We get to see all of our characters. It's going to be really awesome. And then it was like, really, we still got Sun and Neptune, which I don't hate. I still love those two characters. I love all the comedy involved in that. Like, the horrible dancing. Like, Neptune, he cannot dance, and apparently Sun can't either, because they were both just, like, shaking and stuff, and that's what it really looked like. They were just twisting. And I enjoyed that. I like the little posters that they had at the beginning of the fight. And then, like, they put up the last poster for his Sun, and it's just his chest and his abs. I thought that was really funny. Weiss getting mad at Neptune when he looks at Team Indigo. He's like, ladies, and she gets super pissed off. They kind of touched a little bit on Sun and Blake's relationship and stuff, so that was actually kind of cool. I was like, okay, they're actually talking about that a little bit more. They're playing with it, and I think that'll definitely come into play once Adam really gets into things. I think that might actually have an effect on their relationship, because it'll be like, I mean, both of them being Faunus, it'll have a bit of an interesting relationship on how everything plays out once Adam officially comes in, into the battle in general. So I'm actually looking forward to that. But the whole fight was really fun. The action was really good. We did get to see Saturn. I hope that's the right name for the redhead guy. But we get to see him fight, which is actually really awesome when we find out that he is one of the few people who actually doesn't have a weapon that transforms. He actually has a sword and a gun, and I didn't realize it, just seeing his costume, but he's like a full-on pirate for RWBY, so that was actually awesome. He has a cutlass and like a flintlock pistol, and naturally we end up getting him fighting on the water side of things when he fights on top of the boat, and I was like, that's actually really awesome. And his gun is a grappling hook, so I guess that kind of counts as two weapons in one. I don't know if it actually shoots any bullets out or anything, but it was a grappling hook, so that was pretty cool. From what I remember, and I got it playing right now, I'm trying to go through and see if we really get to see anything extra, but I don't believe we see any of their semblances or anything like that. Like right now we got the guy with the green, he does like one awesome strike, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then the girl makes a tornado, and then he's done. It's like, that's not as cool. Like, it sucks that he got knocked out so fast. And I really love his design. I like his jacket looks sweet. He actually has a very simple style of sword, but I think it's really awesome because it's almost like Cloud Sword, where it's like just a giant buster sword, basically. And it's pretty sweet. It's like a Dragon Slayer style sword, like Guts from Berserk. So I think that's really awesome, but the characters are cool. I really love Team Indigo, actually. I really like their powers a lot. Like, the one girl can make, like, tornadoes. The other girl has, like, basically she can just shoot fire. She almost has, like, kind of like Weiss's blade. But it seems like she only does, like, fire-based attacks. And it was really cool. And it was definitely fun. Her versus Sun, which I'm watching right now. Sun, I always love watching Sun fight with the bow staff. It's actually really awesome. He doesn't break it up in this episode. He doesn't need to, but it's just really fun. Like, watching this fight was actually very entertaining. Very, very funny, especially just Neptune and his issues with the water. But I loved this episode for sure. The action was awesome. The comedy was just insanely hilarious. And Neptune's little, like, tiptoeing up to the water to stick the staff in and electrocute the girl so they won the fight was just so funny to me. It was just like fine. And, he was freaking out, helping and stuff. And, like, he shoots the girl from hidden sun. He's like, see there, I helped. Are you happy now? And it was just so funny. Like, he's so freaked out over all this stuff. And it was just like, alright, he's just really silly. And with Saturn's gun, I just realized that the grappling hook is actually on the bottom of the gun. So the grappling hook shoots off the bottom, and it shoots regular bullets from the top. So that's actually really cool. So I'm glad I went through that. There was something that happened. I think it's this scene right here. Yeah, the girl, when she reflects the coconuts and it hits Saturn in the nuts, and then that takes him down. It's Scarlet, not Saturn. I don't know why I was in Saturn. But anyway, Scarlet. I don't know where I got Saturn from at all. But, oh well. But when that happened and he gets hit in the nuts, and then, I think Saturn is the green guy. That might be where I was getting Saturn. I had Scarlet and Saturn mixed up. because that doesn't make sense because Scarlet actually has red hair. That should have been really easy for me to remember, but I kept forgetting it. But when he got hit in the nuts, that was really funny to me too. Like, just another great part of the comedy for this episode. It's definitely enjoyable. Great action. Really looking forward to the next episode. I think they're gonna really. I think what we're gonna get, because we never. It was basically the opposite of this for all of last season, where it's like, oh, the Vital Festival is coming, and no episode had the fights. I think we're gonna get all the fights in the first half of the season, and then we're gonna get like the rest of the story, because we have Crow and we have Winter, both in this episode. Like, Winter comes on the ship at the end of the episode, and Crow, if you guys watch the trailer, which most likely you of course have, Crow basically thinks that Winter is like the straight up villain, like she's one of the spies or something, working for the bad guys. So I don't know what to expect from that, but I don't think they're going to dive too much into that story until they officially just get us through this tournament, because we've been waiting the whole volume, because they talked about it at the end of Volume 1. All of Volume 2 was like, the tournament's coming, and then it was just like a week worth of just them dealing with all sorts of insanity. And so now we finally have our tournament, and I think they're going to wait just a little bit to give us, like Crow versus Winter. But I'm excited for that, because I understand if Weiss kind of doesn't like her older sister. They're like living this sort of pompous life and stuff, and she wants to get herself away from that. Sorry, they're dancing again. That was not good. But them, her actually being a villain is really crazy to me. Like, it's hard to see that happening when she's meant to be just, one of the good guys. You would assume, at least. So we'll see how all that stuff plays out. But officially, Winter is now in town. Crow has his mission, and he believes that she's the one who's the traitor. I don't know. I'm looking forward to that, though. I can't wait to see them fight, because I know we will. I just can't wait to see that happen. So looking forward to it. Definitely a great episode. Like to see the new teams. I hope we get another new team, like just a random team to lose against, maybe like Mercury and Emerald's team. That would actually be kind of cool. I'd love to see an episode focus on their fights. I think that would actually be really awesome. But great episode, great action, unbelievably hilarious, especially the Neptune stuff. But of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And actually, of the two new teams that we got, I want to know which one you guys like more. Is it Team Indigo, or is it the team that Juniper fought? And I'll look up the names and just put the initials, in like my normal little question. But for me, I like Team Indigo. Like, I like the other team. They were kind of cool, but I felt like they were so hand-to-hand that it wasn't as entertaining to watch them fight, because it was like the one guy had like saw blades that would shoot off his arms. Like, that's pretty cool, but that was it. The one girl, she flat out had a sniper rifle, and that was it. I feel like none of them even really had any semblances. That's how it felt. Like, I'm sure they did, but it was just like they didn't really do much. And then, we get the second fight, and we got girls making tornadoes, and girls, with like blades that are shooting off like flames left and right 100 million times. And I was like, that's just really, really cool to me compared to the first team, which basically were just like hand-to-hand fighters. So I like Team Indigo way more in this episode. We might get a bunch of the teams back in future episodes. Who knows? Because everyone has names. Like, all of these team members have names, even if they're unimportant for now. So they could end up all coming back at some point, especially with the insanity of what's looming over the city. So we might get to see all these teams again. We'll get to know these characters at least a little bit more, maybe. But I want to know which team you guys like more. Which, I guess, villain team. I'll just count them as the villain teams for this episode. Which one you guys like more? So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.